Wait, dude, do it again. Do it again. You can do it perfectly.
Senpai.
We're streaming right now.
No way.
Senpai.
They don't know we've been saying this for.
Senpai.
What does that mean?
Senpai.
I don't make the rules. I need you to understand this. But it should be legitimate. Let me actually check this. Oh, yep, people are here. Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to K Talk, which is never K Talk. It's everything else. No, we're actually talking about legit things here. You know, this is legit stuff happening that we want to talk about with y'all. You know, so K-pop is something that we all have in common, and we just gonna talk about it. Isn't that right, Akbar?
And I guess you could see by Josh having the little website up that we're talking about the top 10 K-pop scandals of 2015. Not just the top 10, just K-pop scandals in general.
Just K-pop scandals in general. Like, I like referring to articles, like, to get a good list, because I know a lot of scandals. Like, we can brainstorm and have that happen, but to have a list, we can, like, think of things that we forget.
And we could look at beautiful idols' faces.
So this is what we're gonna do. We just want to like talk about it, introduce the topic. You know, K-pop scandals. It's scandals in general. Just happen anywhere anyone's famous ever. You know, they happen in families where no one's famous. So, you know, this is something we all need to accept is a reality in our lives. And why in the world does it even matter? Is the question I have.
I'm kind of there with you, where I'm just
honestly, dude, talk about like you just mentioned the G-Dragon scandal.
Oh yeah.
What happened with that?
Yeah, so apparently there was this huge scandal in I think 2011 where G-Dragon got busted for smoking marijuana, which is like a pretty huge offense in South Korea where you go to jail.
They're
and he
pretty
somehow
conservative.
got out of it. Yeah, so he somehow got out of it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he didn't serve any prison time. But when you look at like America, someone who smokes, like if my next door neighbor was smoking, it'd be like, all right.
That's a good point. Like if the guy down the road, if I figured out he smoked, the world would continue going the way it did. No one would care.
No, and that's my whole issue with it, is I'm like, did he kill a guy? Did he rob someone? Did he hurt somebody? No, he just smoked a leaf. And I'm like, I don't care.
Honestly, that's what happened, but it all comes down to his status, I guess. He's held to a different standard. You know, he's a public figure. He's lost his freedom of speech and his freedom in general.
I agree.
We've talked about that, though. Like, what do you think about freedom of speech when it comes to actually getting some famousness to you?
So when you get some famousness, like you said, you kind of lose your freedom of speech because now you have a following, people who look up to you, and you don't want to just go up to people who look up to you and be like, hey, and then say something so messed up where then they're like, I don't know if I like you anymore because I used to be inspired until you just said you hate every race but your own or something like that.
That could happen.
It could happen.
That's a thing. I'm getting distracted by the comments because I'm like wanting to talk to them.
Me too. Well, yeah, let's do it. So, like you guys, do you know any scandals that come to mind or anything that's like blown out of proportion that you guys think shouldn't be as blown out of proportion?
I think pretty much everyone here is going to know at least of one K-pop scandal because most people, whether they don't like know a ton of groups, they know one group that fits their bias group, and there's usually something that happens eventually.
Eventually.
I mean, people could only like Astro if they're new to K-pop, and Astro hasn't done anything but be adorable. That's their only crime so far.
Yeah, the newer groups are I guess not privy to any scandals because, well, one, they're young, and then two, hopefully they've learned from their oppas not to do that.
There's Naomi and Raven Hikari. They're both saying the Park bomb drug scandal. That happened.
Oh, yeah.
All three of these. You know, and give us some info about this, because I know a little bit about it, but I don't want to get any info wrong. So if you guys could let me know right now in the comments, we'll go off of that. Like, any details on the K-pop Park Bomb 21 drug scandal. Mm-hmm. You know, I heard that it was involving, like, amphetamines.
Like Adderall, I think it was, wasn't it? Or something
Adderall.
Like that?
Very likely, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, that she was transporting it, like, through the mail, or she was getting it from a friend, or giving it to a friend. I forget, but it's like... Basically, she was involved with that, and then she went into the dark for like a long time. Like they weren't doing live performances, they weren't doing new things. And I remember watching the Mama performance whenever she had like her first like comeback, and it was very emotional for all the fans, you know, because that was something serious. It was like the very first time she was coming back since that whole thing dropped. It's crazy how that can just completely derail your career.
Yeah, one little thing, and it's crazy because it all depends on where they're from. And like right here, We got a comment from Mino Jimiwon Kwei, who said she had depression meds from the U.S. that was illegal in Korea. So she was just, I guess that also ties in a whole like South Korea having a stigma against like mental illnesses and like depression like that. So that sucks that it was just something that she needed as a cure and she thought she really needed it in order to continue with her career. And she got punished for trying to help herself so she could give back to her fans and not be, probably be still motivated on stage and just cope with everything.
Okay, so we were half right. Back in
Yeah.
2010, she brought back Adderall from the U.S. since it's
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. But then, of course, then the depression meds. What did she get that from? Like a friend or something, and like it was illegal, and she needed it. Like, why don't you just get a prescription? I don't know. Like, that's my first question.
I think it was illegal in South Korea. Like,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It was not available there.
Was that probably was one of the big like kinks in the armor of 21 and the reason that they fell from where they were at.
21 were queens.
I have a feeling that Blackpink was a long time coming.
I think so.
I think this kind of might have started it. They're not completely oblivious to every little thing that happens. I think they probably had an idea that Minzy wanted to go, and she waited until the contract was over for her to just like spadoodle. So she probably let them know, a little courtesy, like, yo, by the way, this is happening. I bet years ago they started thinking, okay, so we got to like prepare for this.
Of course.
Like think about the biggest groups out there for some of these, like Big Hit Entertainment. They're probably not thinking what happens if like Big Hit completely gets
BTS
destroyed.
is a family. They're not going nowhere.
They're not, no, but it could still happen, and not
You're
in
right.
the way you would think. Not like Suga just decides like, screw you guys, I'm gonna go back to Daegu and like start rapping and whatnot. Like, he's not gonna do that. But if he did, that's a big deal. That's like
It is a big deal.
when Chris and Luhan and friggin' Tao all left EXO. That was a big freaking deal.
Yeah. It's I guess things people don't think about because they take it for granted, and when it happens, boom, you're out.
So if they're a good business with a business model, it's beyond the emotion part where you want to prepare for these things. You want to have security. You want to have some guarantee on a legal perspective, which is the contracts, and then you want to have a plan B, which is Blackpink. You know? So is 21 even gonna continue?
So, okay, that's the interesting thing, because on paper, 21 still exists. I'm wondering if they're doing a hiatus to properly maybe restructure themselves, put them in the dark for a bit, because I remember watching this, like, just this little blurb about CL talking about her American debut, and one thing that she stressed was she's like, I am in the group 21. She didn't say I was part of the group 21. So that could just be a PR thing, but at the same time, it could be totally because maybe they have something down the line and they're just staying in the dark. Man, we're talking about 21 in this. It's crazy how it led that way from like one scandal leading to like 21 just falling from grace, complete obscurity, and then going to CL being like, or YG, I guess, being like, we're gonna take CL and put you into the Western world and see how that goes.
There's been a lot of different things that have been happening recently. Like, what's something recent? I'm looking at this list here. Oh my goodness, I'm coming back with memories. Okay, BTS US highlight tour. There was a scandal there. I had no idea.
Do you have the source below me?
This is all from Sumpai.
No, I'm saying it's not showing up down below.
It's not?
No.
It should if you give it some time. You just have
there it is.
You got to
There it
believe in
is.
yourself and let the 10-second delay kick in.
That's right. There's a 10-second. I apologize.
What's the BTS scandal? Like, was this even a scandal? I didn't know about this, first of all. All right, so let me read this. How would you feel if your favorite K-pop group came to perform in your city? Well, that's happening. We're both going to see BTS.
Yeah, we're going to see BTS.
That's exactly how BTS fans felt when they heard the news they're heading to America to tour. Unfortunately, the poorly organized concert tour left many fans disappointed. The numerous screw-ups included oversold tickets. Okay, that's a planning mistake right there. That's not BTS doing anything wrong.
BTS.
Fans being locked out of the venue and left to stand out in the rain. Refunds were not delivered. Concert organizer staff being rude to fans, and the fan meetings being cut short. So none of that is BTS's fault at all.
Literally none of it. It's the people in charge, the managing directors and evereverything. That sucks.
The
I don't want
scammed
that to
army
happen
is
to anybody.
exactly what Madison said, and I feel like it's completely contrasted by Bieber, who completely left in the beginning of one of his concerts, and he left an entire stage of thousands of people because he got pissed off at one fan. So
And that's the thing.
The
is
difference
like,
there.
Yeah, I feel like with a lot of these K-pop idols, there are little nuances that they're not backstage like planning for. You know, they're doing all this other stuff. Probably they flew in the night before from somewhere else, getting ready, and then you have all these people who may be planning poorly, and even like maybe what if like if BTS was supposed to perform a certain song and then they played like a junked up version of it, is that BTS's fault or like the
Yeah,
planners and producers' fault? I guarantee
exactly.
you, BTS expects, oh, we're gonna play Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and don't expect to hear like a version that's been shoved through like a pitch shifter by accident to be playing
For
out.
real though, for
Yeah.
real. Lu Yi, I mean, I completely agree with you, 100%. I'm not using all K-pop at all. Okay, I'm not using Koreaboo. I'm using
Nope.
Soonpai. Okay, that's what
Yeah.
I'm using. I would take a steaming dump in the middle of all K-pop's lobby if they were down the road. I would.
Oh yeah, dress night in suits and just say hello to their like front desk and then just poop right in the lobby.
Yeah, I would. I would have to do it
It's
because I
pretty
don't
bad.
make the rules and they deserve that. So it would be something that needs to happen.
It's pretty bad.
None of the
Yeah.
scandals was BTS's fault. It was the company that organized the tour. I completely agree. I mean, it's just like
Yep.
KCON New York. You know, it was the second year they were doing it. I thought it
Yeah.
was decent. I thought there was a lot of room for improvement. Last year was apparently horrible. That's
Yeah.
not any of the group's faults that come there.
You know what that's like? That's like the groups coming off the plane, opening the doors to like the venue of where it is, and it's just on fire, and they're like, "What is going
And
on?"
everyone's like, "How dare you, Jen?" And he's like, "Oh!" It's like,
Yeah.
what did I
And
do?
then that's actually the inspiration for Wings to fly up to a better KCON.
For real, it's like we want to
Another
fly away. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking of a lot of different ones people are bringing up here. One of them said, "Do you know about BamBam LA scandal?" I did not know about that.
I don't know. LA scandal. Did he? What?
What happened?
Just
Now I'm
lapse of
curious.
mentality?
Okay.
Not really a
Soon
lapse of
P. It's
mentality.
pronounced Soon P.
Soon P.
Soon P.
Is that what you've been saying?
I've been saying Soon P. That's what I've been saying from the very beginning. I don't know what happened.
you
All
were
right, so
saying
LO
Japanese.
Bam Bam thing was a mistake and a lapse in mentality.
Mentality.
Not really a scandal. What did he do?
Apparently, Madison Gamboa said he said the N word. Oh.
I don't care about that. I mean, if he,
I
I don't think he knew he was being recorded when I looked that up.
Yeah, I don't think it's that. Also, I don't think he realized how much of a stigma it has.
He's not even from here. You know,
Yeah.
he's not gonna know the weight behind that word. Now, if I have a platform and I go in front of a bunch of people and I go, and I grab my mic and then I point at the nearest colored person and I say that word, I should have that coming to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was drinking alcohol even though he was underage, and he said the N word. Was someone recording this whole thing though, or like did
I
someone
feel
just
like
be
I've
like,
seen that actually. I don't know. I might not have. Well,
Yeah.
I need to bring this up because I've heard so many different things. But what's the scandal involving V?
"There's a
I-
scandal involving me"?
Apparently, V is like a dick and a half, like a professional C word. You know, so like I don't know what's going on with that.
What?
I had to say it. Like, I've looked up different things. I don't know if it's true. Like, here's the time. If any of you guys are V fans and you know more info about these scandals he was involved with, like, now's your time to defend him. Because I read this stuff and I was like, dude, that guy sounds like a dick and a half. Like, he just does.
Did you read it on Karibu?
I don't know. I heard it actually from fans, like, telling me about it on Twitter. So, I have no idea, you know. So, I'm withholding judgment.
No, I know. I agree. I don't know anything about it.
I don't know. Apparently, he was being really like abusive to fans and being like really mean and just like. I need to look it up. I need to really look
Sure,
it up.
it wasn't V, but it was Bieber, Justin Bieber.
It could have been. It could have been Bieber. It definitely could have been. We just
Raven
don't
Hair-
know.
Yeah. So
Someone
Raven
was
Hicari
telling me
says,
about that. I need to look it up. I'm curious.
You do that because I am actually curious too now.
All
Raven
right.
Hikari was saying idols drinking underage is stupid scandal because most people drink underage though. That's true, but since we were talking about earlier, you're at the sort of position where you lose your freedom of speech. You can't do those things anymore because. Wait, so Ashley A is saying the hair pulling. V did do that. I don't know.
And apparently, he was being really mean to a fan, and also like when he was, you know, singing against Big Bang when they sang Big Bang Loser. You know, apparently he was like singing that backstage, which was after they lost.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this.
You know, so there's a lot of different stories around V. You know, there's a lot of people rushing to his defense. Like I said, I know that I don't know, but I know that you guys do know. So I want you to tell me your side of things so we can figure this out, get it all out in the light, so we can figure out what in the world happened with V.
So Lillian Broyles was saying that clip was taken out of context from a fan sign. He was shaking and pulling on a girl's hair. So I don't know if it was like, violent or if it was like pretending to look. I don't know. And then someone took a picture. You know, like sometimes even in American like celebrities, like they take a snapshot at the worst possible time when it's like actually like Will Ferrell feeding like, I don't know, Channing Tatum a cake, but it looks like he's punching him or something just because of how it was shot.
He just was really hungry that day. Who knows?
Just saying, he had to have a cheat day.
I mean, it's kind of funny, though, that they sang Loser and then they lost. So, I mean, he took that opportunity behind stage to start singing that as they're there getting, like, their loser concession speech. And, yes, everything here is going to get blown out of proportion, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm still curious on what actually happened.
Because if it was me and Josh did something stupid, I would totally mess with him behind stage and vice versa. Of course, if, just because we're friends. And I feel like if you're friends, that may happen. Or like if it's a fan and it's all playful, it's like just take it out of context. Like, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
What are the facts? Like I heard a lot of different things in the comments saying different things, but we just don't know the facts. So I think maybe that's where we're at. You know, they're going to be opinions. People get one fact and then they might twist it a couple ways.
Yep. Here's all we know. I think all it was like a picture of like probably V, like probably like rustling a girl's hair, and the angle made it look like he was like probably like, and it like came out bad. I don't know though. I don't know. It was like one snapshot in the whole like thing going on.
I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah.
I told you the way it sounded like it came off to me, personally.
Were they antis who told you?
It could have been antis. No, one of them was a BTS fan, but they were also an XOL.
So that's the thing. Is like,
I don't want to touch that, but I don't think there was any necessary.
No. I don't think so. I personally don't think it was. It was just someone trying to start a scandal because scandals make money and cause. Like, look at this. We mentioned it once, and everybody's talking. So now imagine if a news site mentioned one thing about V, one snapshot of him with a girl's hair. People around the world who are BTS fans are just going to go in a flurry, and antis are probably going to join it, and it makes that website so much money. They know what they're doing.
My guess is if it was in a public setting and there was some female fan in front of a bunch of people filming with all their cell phones, he's not going to do anything that would ever be negatively.
Not even Justin Bieber would do that at a fan signing if you know he has millions. Well, he did go upstage because he got. Okay, maybe he's an exception, but you know what I mean.
Bieber is he's an official dick and a half. V is just like allegedly. I shouldn't even say that because from what I'm hearing, it sounds like there was just a lot of other sides to it. It got blown out of proportion.
Yeah, I agree.
V is in the right. It's V's way of saying hi. Well, that's quite a way to say
Dude, he can say hello to me anytime like that. Like
he can rustle my hair. I'm okay with that, okay?
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. I'll say the way it came off to me. There's a lot of different things with V, and when I heard them all at once, I was like, whoa, that's different. That's something we need to talk about. I don't know. Yeah. Apparently V is an angel, and we just need to accept that angels can never do anything that are outside the context of being an angel. Yeah.
Wings.
Okay. Well, now that we've gotten this settled, it sounds like literally everyone here, except for I saw like 2 people, said that he seems innocent.
Someone X21 mentioned the JYJ scandal has been pretty big for some time. What's the JYJ scandal?
I don't know. What is the JYJ scandal?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Dude, you could like look this stuff up while it's happening. I guess I could too. Technically.
Well, I was just trying to keep it so I could see the chat to see what the lovely people have to say. But
I don't want you to have to like look away from that.
It's okay. Let's see.
We're gonna be like doing research as it happens. They can tell us. There was a big JYJ Park scandal where he had to leave Korea.
We had to leave Korea. What?
Well, I mean, we could talk about something that very recently happened, which is the MMA Awards, you know, where BTS got it looked like it was pronounced Daesung.
I think it's Daesung.
Is the name of the award. They got Best Album. Everyone flipped out, hardcore, way bigger than even when Trump got elected, and now they want to recount. Now they're calling up the award show and saying, we need a recount, this can't be a thing, and everyone's upset, and there's all these Twitter crusades and Tumblr wars and YouTube battles, and it's just blew up, out of control. It seems to me, honestly, it seems like the vocal minority of XOLs, and they're all great, but there's a lot of them that are just straight up annoying as crap, like any fan base.
I don't think it's just XOLs either, because I remember during the break wings there was a whole bunch of
it's probably a bunch of groups.
Sailors.
It's a bunch of groups. People will single out XOLs just because of the sheer volume of them, because they're one of the largest fan bases. But it makes sense, right? Everyone assumed that XO would probably get, just from the sheer volume of fans, get best album. You know, and the underdog went and took it. I'm personally glad, because I'm an
underdog.
I think that's probably my favorite album in K-pop is Wings so far.
Wings is
so
is
I'm
very
glad,
good.
you know,
Very
and just
good.
like everyone freaked out when everyone thought for the whole year leading up to the election that Trump would not get elected. There was no way. He was the underdog, and then he took it. And everyone's a sore loser about it. Riots in the street and everything. So it's the same exact situation. Just, I can see you laughing. He's like, I'm not touching that. But what I'm saying, it's the exact same situation. People are just being sore losers.
Yeah. I think what it is it's really, really like just a lot of people who are salty at the fact that they just don't like BTS for the sake of BTS.
Whoa! Okay, so who's
Did you see that? Yeah.
Who's Yoonshu? And he
Yoonshu.
What?
And got off on all charges. Charges.
How dare the Chargers? Okay, we're making football jokes. So that's insane. Yoonshu. I'm gonna look him up.
I have a very clicky keyboard, if you guys can hear.
I just don't know about so many different things. These are interesting. You know,
Yeah, we only know about the musical side, not like this side.
Sully's scandal. I don't know anything about that.
We could go on forever.
We really could. Wow, EXO were leading in votes in the stream, so people thought they'd do this win album, criteria album of the year.
Can we just talk about Lu Yi's comment? Me taking a dump in my private residence would be considered a scandal.
That's all. I did not know about the rape scandals, his realizing beauty.
That's bad.
Well, that makes two of us, actually three of us. So like you and I and like Akbar, we're in this together. We're equally shocked. That is pretty crazy. And I guess it's a scandal. Did he get convicted? Because there's been plenty of people who have been charged who didn't do it. So, you know, nowadays I think getting convicted of something like that is the outcome is just the same as if you did it. You know, even if you didn't. If you got convicted, you're completely destroyed in your image. You're dragged through the mud by every single all K-pop and Korea boo out there. And ultimately, you're going to be looked at as a rapist even if you didn't do it. EXO BTS is exactly like Hillary and Donald. I'm reading these comments. It's so funny. It is true. I mean, I'm not saying either of those are assigned, like BTS is not Donald Trump. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that the underdog went and completely took everything by storm. Same exact scenario.
Okay, so I'm just reading up on this whole like thing. So there were 4 women. One claimed woman A. Woman A claimed, or maybe not 4 women, 4 people. I'm not sure which ones were involved. Woman A claimed that Park raped her in a bathroom of a nightclub she works at, with underwear being presented as evidence. The charges were later dropped by the accuser. 2 days later, but were they dropped for money? 2 days later, a second woman B, filed charges against the singer-actor, claiming she was also raped in a bathroom by Park in December 2015, and claimed through media that she even called the police a few hours after the assault.
Is that verified? That's easy to verify. There's police cases.
I'm getting there. A third rape charge was filed the day after woman B, with the third, I love you, Josh, woman C claiming that Park Yoo-chun raped her in the bathroom in his house. A fourth woman D, shortly followed with the same allegations. South Korean authorities formed a special task force to investigate all these sexual assaults filed. Park's agency denied all allegations. So they formed like a Law and Order SVU unit like just
rape
for this.
Searching task force. Like that's how
for
big
Park.
It became.
For Park.
Oh, for Park.
Yeah, like I believe just for this specific thing.
Well,
so
he's got the pockets to fund that.
When the charges were made public, a popular Korean-based fan site of Park's boy band JYJ expressed extreme disappointment with his actions and declared that they will no longer be supporting Park in any of his endeavors. Other fans, however, showered him with support from all over the world and expressed their disapproval with the Korean-based fan site. Do you want me to keep on going?
You know, if there's any relevant info, it sounds like we got the info we need.
Yeah.
So summarize all that for people who just entered now.
So basically, what happened is there was 4 women who accused Park of raping them. Some of the charges were dropped. Some just were what was I saying? Some charges were dropped, some were denied. A lot of, or the JYJ said that they would not be supporting him in anything else they did. So the last thing I want to say though is that on July 14th, all the charges were dropped by the police. Police found proof discrediting woman A and B claims, and police found no proof against Park in the case of woman C and D. Both women failing to submit any credible proof against Park. Park's lawyers then sued woman A, her cousin, and her boyfriend for defamation and blackmail. Woman B was also sued by Park for false accusation.
Hey. Sounds like we had some shady women, cops.
And woman A was arrested for false, and her cousin. And woman B was arrested prior. So, like, there's a lot going on. I can't say for sure. For the first two, it sounds like it was discredited, but for the second two, it sounds like they weren't real. But it seems pretty fake based on that.
Dang,
to be honest. What do you think, Josh?
I think that it's still a possibility that there was a genuine case of rape with one of these women, or more. But, like, maybe other people piled on an opportunity. I see that happen a lot in the news. After one person comes forward for Sandusky, we have like 30 other kids come forward, or like someone comes forward for Michael Jackson, bunch of other people come forward. Are every single one of them there for that reason?
Yeah. And here's the thing is regardless if this is true or not, the outcome doesn't matter in terms of if it was a scandal. It's a scandal. That's just
already a scandal no matter what.
That doesn't change it. Yep. And it sucks because his reputation is tarnished regardless if it's true or not. It's just as soon as it's out there, like you hear that all the time, like people are allegedly accused of such things, and that's it.
I'm really sorry. I legitimately accidentally hit the thing that made me go like this. I'm sorry. I did not mean to make light of anything we were talking about.
No, of course.
Yeah, but there's a lot of different types of scandals out there. There's scandals for us. There's been times where people have tried to get Akbar and get me in trouble, and they'll bait you. I've gotten messages from people, the most ridiculous things you guys wouldn't even believe.
Dumb. It's like a Nigerian prince scamming
It's 50 Shades of stupid, honestly.
It's so bad.
I'm thinking, how does anyone fall for this stuff? And
then what really annoys me about the whole things with scandals is these scandals that we're talking about are on the same level as dating scandals, and I'm like, what? Why is dating scandals a scandal to me? I don't understand it. I'm like, that's the most innocent thing. I'm like, you're saying two people going out is as bad as
why would that ever be a scandal? I'm sorry, we need to talk about this right now and cover this. Why would dating ever be a scandal? Two people, consensual, of age, and they want to date. Why would that be a scandal? I'm sorry, I've heard this so many times in K-pop. I need to know what this is about. Do you have anything to go off of with that? I've heard this as a legitimate thing. Fans get really upset.
Yeah. One thing I've heard was that I guess the way it was supposed to be looked at is I guess by the saying is that if you have an idol and you idolize them so much that the idol's relationship is with the fans, not one particular person.
There isn't one idol out there who's I'm dating 20,000 women.
Well, yeah, it's not dating. It's supposed to be you're reserved for them and they don't want to see your affection go towards somebody else, I think. I don't understand it.
It's crazy. It's crazy, especially when it's a whole group. I don't know. It's just it's interesting to think about. I don't know.
I wonder if that's a reason why there's not a co-ed group in K-pop, because I think that'd be the coolest concept.
There are some co-ed groups. Some. The one that Jesse is involved in, and then the one with MFBTY, and there's just
yeah.
There are sometimes mixed, but I know what you're saying. You're talking if
groups.
BTS style came with a Girls' Generation style group.
I'm not
maybe
saying
not that
them
many
too
members. Specifically.
Well, yeah.
I'm saying those types of groups where it's 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 of
5
their
and
members.
5, yeah.
5 and 5 that just intermesh. That would be sexual tension for the record books.
And no matter what the problem with that is no matter what they would do, it'd be they talk to each other behind stage to prep for a song. Scandal.
Insane.
I hate that.
We want to talk about this a whole lot more. You can tell we're getting fired up, but we want to cut these off at the 20-minute mark, which is why I got rid of the comments. I'm let's just stop, because the second I read more comments, I'm going to go off for another hour. I know that for a fact. Akbar is even worse when it comes to comments. If he sees something, he's going to get so distracted. So I know I'm trying to cut this off and wind this down. That's what this motion is with my hand. So thank you guys so much for joining this K Talk. We love doing these with you guys. That's the whole point of these K-Talks. We have K-Talks on a daily basis when we call each other at night before we go to bed. And like I'm
he's
thinking,
not joking about that.
why don't we just do it on a live stream and join the fans with this? So I need a favor from you guys. I need you to please check out our K-Talk channel. It's in the description. There's a link there. There's also like a link on my homepage. And so if you could check that out and subscribe, because eventually we're moving these live streams over to K-Talk.
Yes,
so we don't want you to miss them.
I was just saying, like, the whole thing is we want to get as many subscribers to really, support our K-Talk. And maybe our chats will end up being longer if we have enough people watching and involved that we could just talk about it for long. So because we just have such a, that we can't help it. There's too much to talk about.
Way too
But right
much.
now, right now we're keeping it at 20 to make sure that we all stay sane and that Josh and I don't punch holes in our walls.
I might do that.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is really, I thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all for your support. Uh-oh, it's happening.
Soompi.
What I'm trying to say.
Soompi. I didn't know. I thought it was Soompi for some reason.
He's going to continue with the Soompi.
All right, so guys, thank you so much for joining this K-Talk. We really appreciate your engagement, your support. I mean, these comments are awesome. You guys rock. We love you so much. You guys are the reason we're doing this. I have one other favor to ask you guys. Could you please in the comments below, like after the stream is done, not just in the live chat that disappears, but like in the comments below, could you let us know any other K-Talk ideas you want us to talk about? Any topic whatsoever. We want to do it. We want to get our ideas from you guys. That's where we got this idea, from the comments. We get so many hand motions. But yeah, thank you again so much for joining this, and we will see you guys in the next K-Talk.
Peace.
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 And we're out.